Hi guys, welcome to yet another live stream watch along on Balloon Hit Productions. I'm your host as usual. My name is Marcelo Nostroza, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's watch along. Tonight, I'll be watching one of my favorite films that I discovered while I was in screenplay writing class that introduced me to the genius that is Kevin Smith. But have no fear, you guys just won't have to listen to my, silky smooth voice this evening. Just like Clerks One, my own personal clerk, my favorite Canadian, PJ, will be joining me on the stream. So welcome to the stream, PJ.
Hello.
So hello, welcome back to the channel. So what do you have any recollections? Do you have any recollections of when the first time that you ever saw Clerks 2 was?
Well, I saw Clerks 2 the first day it came out in 2006 in my local theater. It was the last time a Kevin Smith movie, as far as I remember, had a wide release. And then after
Really?
that, you could barely like you need to find the one show that was playing a Kevin Smith movie. Like Jay and Silent Bob Reboot had like two shows, or like it was only there for a week in like a theater outside my city. I don't ever remember Tusk being in any theater near me. Yoga Hoser, same thing.
Yeah.
So this is the last,
Yeah.
in my opinion, this is the last commercially big Kevin Smith movie that was ever made.
We could make a case for Cop Out, but nobody wants to talk about Cop Out.
I don't even. I haven't even
Yeah,
seen it. So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Anyway, real Kevin Smith fans don't consider Cop Out a Kevin Smith movie because Cop Out was one Cop Out was that rare time in his career that he didn't actually write the film that he was directing. He directed it. So,
Yeah.
and his problems with the great actor Bruce Willis are legendary. But we're not here to talk about Cop Out or any other film that Kevin didn't have his fingerprints on. What we're here to watch tonight and talk about tonight is the film Clerks. For me, I
Clerks
like
2.
like I yes, Clerks 2, thank you. For me, thank you. For me, Clerks 2 is very, very special because like Clerks 1, I saw that film around the time that I was learning to be a screenplay writer. So all my emotional connections that I have with this film are connected back to when I was learning the ins and outs of screenplay writing. And I really like the story that is told in Clerks 2 because Clerks 1 is just really, it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great, but it's really juvenile, right? It's really juvenile. And Clerks 2 is taking the same characters that we love, but making them realize that things can't stay the same forever, that things have to change. So, enough about me prattling on. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off my camera, and me and PJ are going to sync up our copies of Clerks 2. And if anybody's watching this live right now, which nobody is, but if you're watching this after the fact, you're more than welcome to sync up your copy of Clerks 2 and watch along with us.
Hey, why is it just me? What happened? What happened, Marcelo? You there? Uh-oh. I think Marcelo kicked himself off.
Sorry, I kicked myself out. Oh my god. Guys, I'm drunk. I kicked myself out. I kicked myself out of my own stream. What is going on? Madness is happening. Seriously, madness is happening. There I am. I'm here. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Jesus Christ. I need some coffee or something. I don't know. But okay. So PJ, on 0, we're gonna press play, okay?
Okay. Ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, 0.
The Entertainment One logo is forming.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get the Weinstein Company logo.
Yep. Does it did it bother you that this film was primarily in color?
No.
No, okay.
I like that it begins in color and then the fire is what we're about to see is colorized. In reality, that door would be so hot he would burn himself.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to lift that door.
So
Also,
it's all digital.
I'm really surprised that there was no backflash or something like that.
Mm. God, he's so young there.
Yeah.
Dante does a lot of that kind of reacting, like kind of rolling his eyes, shaking his head.
Mm-hmm. Dante does a lot of reacting just expression wise with his face. I kind of really appreciate that.
You know what characters become very expressive over the years, like more and more so in every film?
What is
Silent
that?
Bob.
Yes, he talks more.
Yeah, he's still pretty silent the whole time, but he does, especially in Jay and Silent Bob reboot. His face is very animated. His expressions are much more. He's like it's like he's bursting to talk.
Right. Do you ultimately think that's Kevin coming out of his shell, basically?
Yeah, you see his acting in earlier films, and not only his own but other movies. He's kind of like this. He's kind of like really low key, and now he's like, "Wow, kids, yeah!" Like that's so it's like he's changed in a good way. He's become
Yeah.
more like open and wouldn't say flamboyant, but expressive.
Mm-hmm.
I love the soundtrack to this movie. It like
Yeah.
caught me the first time I ever watched. I'm like, man, all the songs they play in this movie are fucking kick ass.
Speaking of soundtracks, did you ever look up the original soundtrack for Clerks?
No, not yet. I do know this soundtrack though very well. This is Nothing But Flowers by the Talking Heads. They also have the great song "Goodbye Horses" by Q Lazarus.
Right.
Goodbye. It's making fun of Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm.
Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is another good song in here. 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
ABC by the Jackson 5. Classic.
Yeah. The ABC song plays a critical role in this film.
Yeah, it's right after she reveals that she's preggers.
Yep. Spoilers. But if you're watching
no.
this, but if you're watching this with us, you've already seen the movie, so.
I wonder if anybody out there actually watches a movie the first time with director's commentary or something.
Um,
I've never
why?
done that, but
Yeah,
that's what I
but
used to
why?
love DVDs for. I used to always watch it second time with the commentary.
Right. The the ambiance of this movie is very New Jersey when it's not actually shot in New Jersey.
No, I forget where they shot it though. Well, I'll look it up. Definitely not.
I think it has to be in Los Angeles somewhere.
Let's take a look. The Mooby's restaurant was a shutdown Burger King in Buena Park, California.
Mm-hmm.
They do shoot some of it at the Real Quick Stop in Leonardo, New Jersey.
Okay. Okay.
But most of it's California,
Right.
or as Arnold says, California.
California.
Mooby's, in if you think about it, is a disgusting restaurant. They have
Yeah,
like
it's
signs
awful.
like "Come for the something," and it's like "CUM." It's like what? Who would
Yeah,
eat
it's
there?
awful. No, it's awful.
The Cow Tipper. That's such a cruel
Yeah,
name.
it's such a.
What was it like?
Maybe an answer. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit. Mm,
T-shirt he has on, God Christ.
yeah.
It's a reference to Dogma. Now these
Oh yeah. That.
actors.
Oh yeah. That's the shirt from Dogma. That's a good call.
Now these, or the younger guy was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's also in Reboot as well. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's the same character in each movie.
Okay.
He's like a minor character in the View Askew universe.
Does he? Does he like have a name or something?
Uh, he's just teen in the script,
Okay.
but the actor's name is Jake Richardson. He starred in a show called Fudge, which was based on the Judy Blume books that I read as a kid, like Fudge-O-Rama, and
Oh, okay.
it's about the kid with the turtle and the dog eats the turtle, and then they name
All
the
right.
dog Turtle.
Okay.
I don't know, it's stupid. Judy Blume, I don't know if anybody's familiar.
Mm.
Minor actor, he hasn't been in a lot. This other guy, Ethan Suppley, I think that's how you say his name. He's from My Name Is Earl. He's also the guy from Mallrats who's looking at
The painting.
the painting and he can't see the sailboat.
Mm-hmm. I can't see the boat. This scene with Randall complaining about a crippled person really, um, really made me laugh.
Both Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and this movie are two Kevin Smith movies that really explore trolling on the
Yeah.
internet, which not a lot of movies referenced or talked about for the longest time, like trolls on the
Mhm.
internet. And
Right.
fucking Randall is a troll. He's a human. He's a troll online. He's a troll in real life. Like he's just
Right.
trolling
Right.
everybody.
Right.
Yeah, and the language Randall uses in this movie in particular
Oh.
is so incendiary and just it's like the
w-
worst of Randall.
Yep.
But
Mhm.
part of that, I mean, it's leans into the comedy. I like
Mhm.
that fucking freak grabs her boyfriend by the hair. Who would get those mixed up?
I have no
It's
idea.
so weird. It's a weird thing to mix up, but it
Mm.
comes into play later when
Yeah, it
they're
does.
in jail. He's like, even and fucking Frank could see, and
Yeah, that
he still didn't get it.
yeah, no, that's the good thing about, that's proper screenplay writing, right? You set something up and then you pay it off later.
Mm. I love the pacing in this film, and that one scene does it. It does this throughout. It just that little camera movement toward the window, the change in the music. Every time I watch this movie, it's like it never feels slow.
Right. It's got a it's got a good pace to it, and you're right. It never feels slow at all. It's always moving towards something.
And I find that I don't know what it is, but this I don't think the songs in the movie are like amazing or anything. I just think their placement, like he was really. I think Kevin Smith was really in the zone when he was editing and making this movie, which is why I think Clerks Two has the slight edge over one and three.
Yeah. No.
I think one is almost just as good, and it is unique in its own way. But and three is enjoyable, but I think this one is like the. It's always part two, isn't it, of everything? Like
Mhm.
Superman two, like all these Godfather two. It's always the second one where the director, writer, whatever seems to get it like right.
Absolutely right.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, there are parts there are parts in the original Clerks that are great, but even the original Clerks has several moments in it where it drags. But
Yeah,
this film just has a percussive beat to it, and it keeps going, and it's just on all the time.
yeah, and I like the fact that it takes place in the course of one day, like the original
Mhm.
movie. Um, by the way, this is Jennifer Schwalbach,
Yeah, that's Kevin's wife.
uh, Kevin Smith's wife.
Yeah.
It's like, now do a 16th take of you making up my wife. For what reason,
Okay.
Kevin? Just do
Well,
it.
just do it. Doesn't Harley Quinn Smith make a little cameo in this movie?
She's
The girl in the window, right?
yeah, she's
Or
the girl in the window when Dante is like driving around.
right?
She like waves at him, and little did Dante know that that was actually Jay's daughter. Like in
Yeah.
universe, you know what I mean? That could have been actually, uh, yeah. We now know because of Clerks 3, all of his some of his attitude could be compensation for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
It's like, why is he so relentless?
Hmm. Yeah, Randall. Look. Randall has his charms, but Randall essentially is a big fucking dick. That's what he
Yeah.
is.
And I always think characters don't have to be likable, but they have to be interesting, and he's interesting.
Right.
Sh- she is not really an actress. We know that.
No. Yeah. Not really.
It's like when you see somebody in a movie and you're like, ah, they're related to somebody. Oh,
Ugh.
the introduction to Elias.
Yeah. Of all the characters in the Clerks universe, I don't like. I don't like Elias. I'm like, no.
I've always maintained that people who whistle a lot or whistle in groups like this family are it's like there's something on there's something in their basement. There's something smelly in the basement.
There's something smelly in the basement.
There's like acid chemicals and tools, hacksaws and stuff, and just a
Right.
weird smell.
Right.
Because why are you going around all day whistling like a maniac?
Hmm.
You ever see people like that? Like you go out like to somewhere, I don't know,
Yeah.
hardware stores, anywhere, and it's like somebody's just going around. Do 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 do. I can't whistle. Do 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 do. I can, but it doesn't. The worst thing about people who whistle in public is that 90% of them can't whistle. They can make the
Mm.
sounds of whistling, but they can't. It's never a tune that's happening.
I
One
yeah.
one guy I was actually impressed with. He was doing some like complicated Mozart piece. He was like, and he was like, I was like, oh wow, that's actually good whistling. You deserve to go around whistling, sir. If you can hit all the notes, sure. But it's almost the same as somebody going around singing or humming. It's like it's noise pollution. Nobody wants to hear it.
Hmm. I can I can actually whistle, but I have to whistle by breathing in because you whistle breathing out. I can whistle
Oh
by
yeah.
breathing in.
Oh cool. That's funny. Me personally, if I was having a conversation with somebody and somebody kept throwing little balls of paper at me,
I would hit them.
I I would yeah, at the very least I would say something, but I would definitely want to hit them.
Right.
Somebody did that to me in high school, like grade
Mm.
10 or 11, I can't remember.
Mhm.
It was spitballs at me,
Really?
and I was just like, I turned around and I said, "Who the fuck do you think I am that you could do that to me?" And I flipped over the desks in front of him, and I scared the teacher,
Okay.
and they gave me the nickname Columbine.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah, they did. They would like one guy was like every time I come in class, it's Columbine, like because I got mad at somebody who threw spitballs at me. Like I scared the dude. I was like flipping. I was like, who do you think I am that you could do this? I was like really had a speech on the go. And this dude who
Uh-huh.
thought I was some chump, I guess, I don't know. He had like the fear of God in his eyes, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, wow, 16, 15, 16, I don't know. I scared the shit out of this dude. And you know what's funny? Nobody ever kind of messed with me. Not that they did in the
What?
first place. It was just this
Yeah.
one guy was like
Got on
at
your
me,
case.
got on my
Right.
case, and
Hmm.
then when it got to the point where his like physical spit is on me, I literally just snapped. And the teacher didn't discipline me or anything like that. He's like, I know it's hard to deal with some idiots sometimes. He's like, but try to control your temper. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
sure.
No, I remember. I remember one time in high school, a friend of mine made me jump in the hallway, and because he made me jump, I fell to the ground, and I had to, they had to help me back up. Anyway,
Yeah.
uh, when it, oh my god, when it was lunchtime in the cafeteria, I took a chair and I basically pushed it with my foot, and the headpiece of the chair went in, contacted his balls and him in the nuts.
Is that what you were intending to do?
Yeah, I no, um, but it worked out that way.
Okay. Yeah. Well, guess he deserved it. Little
Yeah.
punk ass
Anyway,
bitch.
yeah.
I hate
Anyway, like
bullies. I've always hated people who are like who fuck with people. It's like, do you realize this is why like violence happens when you just think you can intimidate or hurt physically hurt people and be like, ha ha ha, you seem like a weakling or you seem like a nerd. Oh, like you like Star Trek. There's no way you're gonna fight me. It's like, and then you drop the fool. It's like, oh, I guess they're gonna think twice.
right, right.
I've
I
always been
think.
afraid to fuck with people if I don't know. It's like, ugh, big or small. It's like you never know.
Mhm.
Don't know who's crazy. Okay, let's clarify ass to mouth.
Yeah, we should do that.
Did they mean like physical lips on a butthole, uh, or the penis going in a mouth after it's been in an ass?
Um, I always viewed it as lips to mouth. I never viewed it as an actual penis, like a male penis. I might be crude, but that's the way
E-
that I've
e-
always seen it.
Either way, you never do ass to mouth
No.
unless unless you're safe about it. I guess I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm no
Unless you're
educator.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're absolutely sure and you trust your partner.
Yeah, go but I love Rosario Dawson.
Yeah. In this movie, Rosario Dawson is the ultimate nerd girl, according to John Campion.
I I love how she's like, I'm not into romantic love or whatever. And at the end when he has the ring, he's like, I know Bekla. I like how he calls her Bekla, and it sounds really weird. I know Bekla, you don't believe in romantic love. And then they got that Alanis Morissette sappy song. It's like,
Yeah.
you see everything, you see every part. And I'm like, this is the sappiest shit ever. It works though.
Yeah.
She's like, all of a sudden I believe in romantic love. This is the goodbye horses scene. I
Yeah.
know every scene that's going to happen. It's like I've seen this so many times.
Yeah. I
Ooh, he
think.
says, ooh. Then he
Ooh.
puts on the lipstick. He's like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. Which I didn't realize was a reference to Silence of the Lambs until I saw it a second. I'd seen the movie.
Really?
Like, yeah, like a way back when I was probably too young to watch it. And then when I watched it when I was older, like after 2006, Buffalo Bill starts doing the mangina thing with Goodbye Horses playing. I'm like, oh, that's why Jay was doing that. I thought Jay was just being weird.
Hmm.
Well, it is weird, but
Hmm.
in the captions it says Goodbye Horses plays faintly outside. This conversation is a better version of the conversation he was having with Caitlin
Hmm.
Bree. Remember that
Hmm.
big long fucking. This is a dialogue heavy.
But this scene, like you said, this scene has a better pace to it, and the acting is better, I think, in this particular scene.
And at this point, Kevin Smith was editing digitally. Uh,
Right.
So I think if I remember the director's commentary for this correctly, I think this was the first scene that he showed Rosario Dawson. She was fascinated by the fact that he was editing full scenes while still shooting the movie.
Oh, really?
So this is, I know this particular scene was one of the earliest things he ever showed anybody, I think. But yeah, he had a
Wow.
van or some kind of mobile unit where he'd go and he would
An
edit
edit, right? Mhm.
after that day's shoot or something. Such Kevin Smithy dialogue here. It's so Kevin Smithy.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Hmm.
I think he's like Tarantino with the feet. He's like he likes,
Mm.
putting nail polish on a girl's toes. I can see the
No, but
appeal in that, but I don't like the smell of it.
no, but the thing is, Tarantino has a. I don't think Kevin has a particular fetish, but Tarantino is addicted to
Feet.
feet.
Yeah, he's a foot guy.
He's a foot guy.
I one thing I don't buy is that when Randall discovers that Elias is a virgin, he's like, I can't believe I didn't figure it out until now. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe that either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we first meet Elias, the fact that he's a virgin is kind of written all over his face because the way that he interacts with his family, the way that he interacts with Randall and everybody else in the movie suggests that.
Yeah.
One ring to bind them. Oh god, I fucked it up. The actor that Elias is speaking to is he
Kevin Wiseman.
plays yeah, he plays one of the lead characters in Alias, Marshall.
He's also a character in Hello Ladies. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen that.
No.
He plays a disabled character.
Oh, cool.
That show got canceled, but they made it. They wrapped it up with a movie. It's just about a big, tall guy, a
Really?
goofy-looking, tall British dude who's very awkward with women and keeps failing
Okay.
to get a relationship. That's all. That's what it's called. Hello Ladies. It's all about him going out with his friends and the Anakin. My shitty acting is ruining Saga.
Yep. It always bugs me as a Star Trek fan that nobody talks about Star Trek in film like with a happy like they all talk about Star Wars, they all talk about Lord of the Rings, but nobody talks about Star Trek.
No, I struggle to find. I know there's been examples, but I struggle to find examples right off the top of my head in TV shows and movies.
Hmm.
I
No, and
know.
if
I
it,
know Star Trek 2 was referenced in Seinfeld, but that's a show. I don't know about movies. I
right,
can't really think.
yeah.
Frito, he calls him.
Freedom. Oh my god.
this description is
Oh.
not as shocking as I think it was initially. It's like, oh, Sam and Frodo suck fest. Who cares?
Mhm.
I know two people who have an OnlyFans. Like, what do I care about? The guy throws up over it too. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We have cleaning products. You can never have like just to think about the conversations in a workplace that
No.
aren't allowed.
No,
Like,
you can't. You can't. You can. No, 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 no. Everything. You know, all the conversation that Dante is having with his boss here is not allowed in the real world. Absolutely not.
but in the real world, there are risque conversations, but none of them like. Just
Yeah.
imagine you're in a restaurant, like a fast
No.
food place, and they're like ass to mouth, and some of the racial stuff that's said later is like,
Right.
no
Right.
wonder Wanda Sykes and Earthquake are angry.
Right.
Earthquake is the guy she's with. He's a comedian, very good. He has something on
Mm.
Netflix. He's fucking talking about kids, like these stupid kids. He's like fucking going off about teenagers, and like he's like, how do you fuck with a teenager now? You can't do anything to them. You really can't. He's like, you know what I do? I turn off the fucking Wi-Fi. I turn off the Wi-Fi. The kid's like, it's like that's how you get them. Turn off the fucking Wi-Fi. But his lines in it, I'm jumping ahead with that scene where he's like, "Come on, baby, you can't taste racism."
You can't taste
And she starts hitting him. She's like, "You know what the judge told you? You can't be hitting on me like that."
Oh my god.
But yeah, he's a really good comedian.
Mm.
Wanda Sykes is too. Just what she's a better actor, I think.
Mm. I'm not much into comedians, and I don't. I mean, during the pandemic, I really discovered, stand-up comedy, and I watched a couple shows, but I'm um, not much of a comedian person.
Comedian guy.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, I love.
Mm.
I love all the. I've
Mhm.
discovered on YouTube now, like they release their specials on YouTube.
Mhm.
Like these.
Yeah, like the one comedian guy that I like. You never see his face. His name is Randy Fellface. He's a big, uh, um, purple puppet.
Oh no, never heard of him.
I'll send you a video.
I know Ed the Sock and Triumph the comic insult dog.
Right. I'll send you a video and.
I had a friend who thought Jeff Dunham, just everything he did and said with the puppets and everything was just so hilarious. I'm like, God. It's like watching
Yeah.
Larry the Cable Guy or Jeff Foxworthy. It's like, no, thank you. This
Yeah.
is not
No. No.
funny.
Yeah. No. I remember the first time that I saw Jeff Dunham, and a friend of mine played me one of his shows, and I was laughing off my ass the first time. But his comedy, I find, is very repetitive.
Mm.
Um,
You know who I find painfully unfunny
who is
in
that?
movies and their I've never been able to get through any of their stand up. Kevin Hart. I
I don't.
respect him for being a success and a hard
Yeah.
worker and getting to where he is. But it's like it's just one of those things I can't see why.
Yeah. I don't. I don't particularly like Kevin Hart. What's your time code, PJ?
3404, 3405. Who are you two?
I'm in 3450. I'm a little bit ahead of you.
50?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's weird. Why is it so out of sync like that by like so many seconds?
Yeah. Yeah, because I had the uh the Weinstein Company logo come up first before I didn't have the E1 logo come up.
Oh, what's us? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
So I mean, if you want, we can stop and get synced up. I mean,
No. No. I will. I jumped ahead. Just give me your time step now.
okay. 53. No, no. 53, 58.
53, 58.
I mean, dude, sorry. I mean, sorry. 33, 48. 33, 48. I'm drunk.
33. I'm at 35. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
This
Yeah,
makes
I'm gonna.
no sense. Um. Okay. I'm at 35, 34, 35, 35.
Yeah,
So we're like 2 minutes apart.
yeah. It's not that bad.
What's happening on the screen now? And you're
Randall just came in, and he said, ladies are out here that want your attention." He called. Um, yeah. This is a disaster. Mm,
I can't wrap my mind around why it's so out of sync.
I don't know. Oh,
Okay, I've gone back to I'm at 34, 43.
yeah,
You,
yeah. You're a little closer now. Why is it so out of sync, man? It's pissing
what
me
is
off.
your exact time code? Just one more time.
35, 14.
Now the goodbye horses thing is happening, right? Or just happened?
Yeah, yeah. It just happened.
Now
Yeah,
we're at Kinky Kelly and the sexy
yeah.
stud. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's where we are.
All right, good.
Sorry about the speech.
Oh, sorry.
My fault.
We
I
fixed it.
swear to God. Yeah, I swear to God. When we do Clerks 3, I'm like gonna I'm gonna get the time codes right thing.
You know what we should do? Just start at the view askew, like jump to the part at our own copies
Mm.
where the view askew
Logo is up.
logo, like the first second it comes up, and start
Okay.
there. That'd probably
Okay.
be better.
All right. We can do that next time.
Now, I don't. Randall, he finds weird pornographic things hot and sexy, which I don't know. It's just like that's a well, no, 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 no,
No,
no.
no. I think Randall is sexually frustrated.
I think he's a sexual mutant or something. Well, let's think about it. He has a tiny penis, which what happens. Can't help
Yeah.
that. He likes unconventional porn, even back in the first Clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he likes bestiality now.
Right.
And I didn't realize this, but he fucks girls that are way too young, or he says he does. I don't even believe that he does. I think he's a lot. I think he's all talk. I think he just says things to be controversial,
Mm-hmm.
and that like he doesn't in practice do a lot of what he apparently
Yeah,
says
and
he does.
and to his defense, he thinks that he's booking a real person. He doesn't think that he's booking a bestiality show. I believe.
Oh, dude, no, he definitely knows what he's doing.
Okay, all right.
The mix-up is he th- he thinks Kinky
He thinks
Kelly
it's a
is a
girl.
human woman, and the
Right,
sexy
right,
stud is the donkey that's gonna do her. Oh, that sounds so bad.
right.
But it turns out that it's uh, Kinky Kelly is the donkey, and the man's gonna do the donkey, which
Mm-hmm.
it's I don't know, it's
It's
funny in
li-
the context of something absurd that isn't real, but like in reality, it's really wrong.
yeah,
This is wrong and
that's a little
abusive.
bit that's a little bit too much. I've seen some pretty fucked up things in my life, but the first time I saw this film, and that the whole scene started, I was like, can we just like why?
Well, at least Kevin had the decency not to show anything. He doesn't. He
Mhm,
doesn't actually show anything, but it's all suggested. It's just so
mhm.
fucked up.
But a lot of times suggestion is more powerful than what Kevin could ever show.
Yeah. I'm not one of these people who imagines the worst thing. I just like, oh, I don't see it good. I don't even have to think about it now. Or like,
Mhm.
I know something bad is happening. Oh, every time you hear that door, I'm expecting a cameo.
Hmm.
Yeah, blind as Anne Frank. There you go.
Mhm.
He realizes Elias is a virgin.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'm not like I'm. I I can't wrap my head around it how Randall didn't put that together before.
I mean, some guys are you just um, in their like later life remain virgins. You know, one dude is, I assume he still is. I don't need to. He's never had a relationship of any sort. I'm like, well, I guess he's a virgin then. I assume. I'm like, is there really anything wrong with that? Not really. It's just that there's a stereotype of like the guy who likes Transformers or fucking
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. But see, the thing is, me growing up, all of that was in the same category of you're a nerd if you like this. Lord of the Rings, which I was barely aware of, by the way, but it was like Star Wars, Star Trek. You liked any of that stuff? It was like nerd. By the way, the people, half the people who were calling you that were going home and watching TNG or fucking Return of the Jedi themselves.
Right, right.
I've actually known people with Star Wars bed sheets who have made fun of people like Star. I'm like, you know how the kids are
Yeah.
like, kids can be hypocrites like that. They're just, it's just like, oh, it's the popular thing to, but Star Trek was way worse.
Mhm,
Like you were asking for like ridicule when I was young if you said you liked it
mhm.
because people couldn't wrap their. I think it was because people it made them feel stupid. I think a lot of people watched it and like I don't get it. Uh, I feel stupid. No, this is stupid, and anybody who likes this is stupid. They get angry like that way. I'm not saying only
Right.
smart people can like Star Trek or anything like that. I'm just saying
Mhm,
like I used to get comments like, "What is this? What's going on?" I'm like, "It's the 24th century. What
mhm.
is there to why are the people disappearing because it's future technology. I used to have to explain to people like just imagine if you went back 500 years and showed them what we have now, wouldn't they think you were magic and that you were far-fetched and hard to believe? That's what Star Trek is. And they're like, I don't get it. Why are the movies
Yeah.
just about old guys?
Why the movie's just about old guys? I think. I think whoever says that is missing the point.
Or they just don't care to learn the point.
Right.
Like if you just looked you might get it, but you're like, I don't even want to look. I just glance at a thing and nerd, and I walk away and I feel proud of myself. And I'm gonna watch
Mhm,
some Baywatch or something. I don't fucking know.
mhm.
I like Baywatch. It's okay to watch it.
You know
This is
what?
it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you know what Hasselhoff show that I actually think is pretty good that I never like to admit that I actually like
Night Rider.
Knight Rider.
It's never been available on anything ever here
It's
at
on
all.
no, but it's on Netflix in the US, I think.
Yeah, I've always looked for it because I've always seen clips of it. And I've always seen the references,
Hmm.
and even as a kid, I'm like, I want to watch this show with the talking fucking car, and I couldn't. It was never around. I'm sure it probably aired at some point, but back in the day when we only had like 10 channels, like there was a lot of stuff we didn't get
Right,
way
right.
back. But I've watched clips of it, like HD, full HD clips on YouTube that officially released. I'm
Hmm.
like, YouTube, I don't want to just release the goddamn episodes. I'm sure you could buy them now on YouTube, like with anything else, but like for the longest time, I could never find Knight Rider.
Mm. Or, I mean, we at Balloon Hit Productions don't condone this. You could just rip it off.
I'm sorry, sir, I don't steal from record stores.
I don't know.
They have the magnet thing on it and it goes beep 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 beep. You try to
No,
leave.
but no, but when I say rip it off, I mean digitally rip it off.
Oh yeah, we missed the whole pillow pants thing. Yeah, that's funny. He's
Yeah.
like, have you kissed her yet? Like, no, because of her mouth troll, Lister Fiend.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Listening
Elias is
to
really goofy in this movie. Like, really, like da
yeah.
da da.
Mm.
And it gets a little tired. I admit. I think he's a better character in three. I like his
Yeah,
character more in three.
I mean, yeah, I don't, I have a lot of problems with it, but we'll get to there and when we get there. But
There's a line coming up that first time I saw it, like I really laughed out loud. He didn't even go in there to order food. He just went in there to taunt.
yep.
Some pickle fucker. Just imagine you become a billionaire and then like, you know what? I'm just gonna go and see all the people who didn't become billionaires that I went to school with and
I
say,
mean,
you're not a billionaire. It's good to know.
yeah,
See
but
ya.
yeah, but yeah, but how much of a conceited douchebag do you have to be to do that?
Yeah, really. Like your all your money can't. This is true. Money can't buy happiness. You can still be miserable, even if everything is paid for. Um,
Yeah.
this is a good line. This tastes like piss and flies.
Mm, mm, mm. I always wanted to do, a go kart thing. I've never tried go karts.
They had them by our local mall every summer for a few years.
Really?
I'd like bumper cars, and I'm
Right.
not really a fair ride guy.
Yeah.
I like the Ferris wheel, I guess.
Hmm.
There was one, I went to Canada's Wonderland one time. I went on a roller coaster.
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, it's not all that appealing. Feeling like you're gonna
Right.
fucking die? No.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's pretty unappealing if you ask me, don't you?
But I was always afraid of people vomit. There was one thing that swung, and it in Canada's Wonderland, it's a big thing where a bunch of people are in a thing, and it swings and it goes upside down at one point.
Uh-huh.
I'm always afraid on rides that somebody's gonna vomit and it's gonna go like at me. Uh,
Oh.
you know what made me like paranoid about that is that scene in Problem Child 2
Mm-hmm.
where like everybody throws up and it's one of the grossest things in a PG-13 movie I've ever fucking
Yeah,
seen.
it's gross.
It literally I can't watch it. It's that fucking disgusting. It's
Mm-hmm.
just everybody ends up like it's a chain reaction of vomiting and it's like no.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Mm.
These are repeating the beats of the first movie where it's all in a day. Something happens to get Randall all riled up.
Yep.
In the first they go to the funeral or whatever to get away, and they come back and it's like late.
Yeah. Also, the language in this movie would not be, it wouldn't fly today. Most of it.
Oh yeah, well yeah,
Duh.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Like even Quentin Tarantino, his last movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is the most PG of all of his movies. Same thing with Clerks 3 is the most.
Yeah.
When I say PG, I don't mean like real P. I mean like closest thing to a PG that
Right.
they'll ever
Right.
do.
Closest thing to APJ thing.
This movie is a hard R. I can see why like they'd be like NC-17.
Mm. It would be curious to know if Kevin had to cut some things out of this film to avoid that rating. He probably did, most likely.
The funny thing about this scene that these two guys behind Wanda Sykes and Earthquake never end up getting served, and they acknowledge it later in the scene that they're just still standing there, and they just turn around and leave.
Uh huh.
Did he just? This is a good line. Did he just say cockstain?
Hmm.
White freaky stuff. White boys get the white women to do everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Those people behind them never do get served. They just
Yeah.
stand there.
They wait there after all the commotion, and then they just turn around and leave.
Right.
Remember, you're saved. You don't use that kind of language.
Oh my god.
They're the best part of this whole scene. Oh, here it comes. This is where I won't. I'm obviously not going to say it, but this is where I learned that that was a racial term. I didn't. I've
Really?
never even heard. I never even heard the term before at all.
Mm.
And I was like,
I
I wondered if oh, you can't taste
Mhm.
racism. That's so good.
Yeah.
The judge told you about that. He wants to take the food.
Uh-huh.
He don't even care about the incident. He just
He's
like
just
I my
hungry.
fucking food. I am hungry. Give me
Yeah.
the. We were just about to get free food. And the fact that he says that too, like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, how socially tone deaf do you have to be to insult people like that?
And he names them all off. And to think about, these two guys are still standing there.
Mhm. This film came out in
6.
2006. Shit, this movie came out the year that I graduated high school. What? Ow! Oh my god.
Was your grandmother Kanye West? It was racist.
It was.
Oh my god. Come to think of it, my grandmother was kind of a racist.
Mm,
I love this line coming up with Dante.
mhm.
I love it. You can't be saved, Randall. The sole purpose for his creation, the only reason it exists in the first place, is to disparage an entire race.
Yeah.
And even if you could be saved, you can't save it because you're not black. And then he goes, "Listen to you telling me I can't do something because of the color of my skin." That's the funniest part. It's like
Yeah.
he's so stubborn.
Yeah. But the thing is that the thing that makes Randall great is that he is like he is so definitely not aware of how these
Offensive he
terms
is.
are so offensive, right? That's what makes it funny.
I think she likes Dante or something.
Mm.
You know what's so sad though? Is
What?
like her this course that they take in life ends in tragedy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like not
yeah.
long after, like right
No,
after the events of this movie. Like it's like, oh fuck.
no, but isn't it? No, but isn't it like a couple weeks after this movie, right?
Well, in
Or
the very end of this movie, there's a time jump to like maybe 6, 7 months or something.
right?
She's pretty far along in a
Yeah.
pregnancy, so I'm assuming just like right after the end.
Right after this, I mean, spoilers, but the accident happened. Yeah.
It happens in 2006, so
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right,
or 2007. It could have been in the next year, but I don't know.
right. This film is making me realize how beautiful Rosario Dawson is. It's like um,
She is. You know what? I could meet Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone or fuck, I don't know, any big one, Tom Cruise, whatever.
yeah.
I would be like, oh, cool, and starstruck or whatever.
Uh huh.
Sonequa Martin Green, Rosario Dawson,
Yeah.
uh, I like Gina Davis, who I think is a legendary.
Right.
The Meryl Streep, somebody like that.
Yeah. The Street Monster. Yep.
It's and it's not a sex thing, but it's just the women. I would just like be like, it's like, what's your name? Duh. Uh,
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Um. The one Star Trek character that I would really go completely goo goo for is two people. Terry Farrell and Mary Wiseman, because
Oh man.
yeah. You know.
Sexual harassment.
Yep. So, but being serious, sexual harassment is the least is the least problem that this film has, because what is going to happen later on is way past that.
Oh yeah. Well, we all know Jay as a character. He's like always. You should hear the stuff he says in Dogma to the main character in Dogma.
Yeah.
It's like, holy fuck! Like it was funny and shocking back in the day, but it's dated. I'm not saying like it should be retroactively canceled or anything,
Mhm.
but it does show the evolution of both Kevin as a writer and the characters themselves. Like Jay, Jay in Reboot
He's
is,
softer.
is is fighting against all the vulgarity that his daughter is spewing. So
Right.
she's like talking about like her dildos and all this, and he's like, "What? You smoke weed? You have to?" He's freaking
Right.
out, and you can see the Jay in like Clerks 3 wouldn't be the same Jay that would say to some random girl, "Let me get a crack at that pussy." It's
Right.
like
Right.
yeah, it's back in the day. Like you didn't really think about it in terms of like the Me Too or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you
No,
think about
but
who produced this movie, by the way.
oh my god.
Hey,
But
oh,
but seriously, I think society has gone too far to the other side, and society needs to get back to the middle ground, right? I mean, I'm not
yeah,
I mean, I'm not trying to make a political statement here, but if 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 society could go back to maybe 90s philosophy, early 2000s philosophy, the world would be a lot better,
I
maybe.
well, even in the 90s and early 2000s, there was a lot of anti-trans, anti-gay kind of stuff.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
the show Dexter, which was in the 2000s, early 2000s,
Right.
there's one character who keeps referring to, is obsessed
D-
with what he says. He
oh,
says the word tranny a lot. And I'm like, ugh.
oh
And it's
yeah.
like, it's not enough. It's like he's weirdly fascinated with them, but it's like not in a respectful. It's weird. It's like, I could see the character
Right.
if they were to
Oh, you
address
talk.
that now, he'd be like a trans activist and
Right.
not
Right.
somebody
Transact.
who used insensitive language. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I mean, I remember people freaked out. Some people I knew freaked out about the scene in Hangover 2, where there's nudity and there's dicks flopping around. And like, on the, it's like
Yeah.
it's like it's not about trying to retroactively go back and say we need to not watch these things or talk about these things from back in the day. Like what is it, TCM, Turner Classic
TCM.
Movies, had a video or a commercial or something where they were talking about like all of the unwoke stuff basically in the past. Like they showed a clip of James Bond that said sexist, and then they showed a picture of Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's where he's in yellowface basically. He's playing a Chinese man who's a
Right.
white guy, and they're like they say racist, and like they're acknowledging all the stuff in movie history because a lot of stuff on TCM
Is
are full of outdated notions, and people I think as a society should know how to judge things based on the context in which they are
e-
made.
exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. Exactly. If society can get to at least a place like that, I will be a little bit more comfortable, because today, I'm afraid to talk to people. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
By the
I know
way,
there are. You're talking about the over. It's like too far to the other side. Like there's a bit of oversensitivity to the whole.
yeah, the whole thing, yeah,
It's like common sense should rule. Treat
that's
people
right.
with respect. If somebody wants to live their truth, You just say, don't do that because that doesn't fall within my personal beliefs or something. I was like,
Yeah, I mean,
first question you have to ask yourself: is the person you're railing against hurting anyone? Is that the
right.
first question?
Hmm.
Are they
Hmm.
hurting another person? Are they hurting an animal? Are they hurting the environment? What are they hurting?
You're right.
What's happening that's
Hmm.
detrimental to the world that threatens you as an individual? And if it doesn't, then what difference does
Right.
it make?
Yeah, for anybody who is listening to this, I apologize because we are doing everything but talking about the.
I think the whole racial thing, the whole racial scene brought everything up
Yeah,
about how you really couldn't have I mean, you
right,
could have a scene like that. It's just people would respond to it much differently now.
right, right, right.
This is where Star Trek Discovery got the idea of twirling the can. No, she really looks like she was crying there. Like she has
Yeah,
the puffy eyes.
she does. Yeah, there are some actors who can cry on demand, but there are some actors who need this. It's like these eye drops that they put in their eyes, and like
Yeah.
they open and close their eyes really quick, and all, and like what 5 seconds later, it's Niagara Falls.
When Randall says, "May your first child be a masculine child," do you know what that's from?
May your first. I think it's like Princess Bride. No.
No, it's from the
Uh,
first scenes in The Godfather,
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
where the
That's
big
when
henchman dude is trying to
yeah,
practice, and he's like,
yeah,
"May your first child be a masculine child."
yeah, that's Luca Brasi.
Luca Brasi, yeah,
Yeah,
who originally wasn't supposed to be in the movie. He was an actual real gangster. You know that
I didn't know that.
the
Mhm.
yeah, the offer on Paramount Plus explains all that, but that is not entirely historically accurate.
Mm. But it's
It's like
entertaining, right?
mm, the best song of the whole movie is coming up. 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Woo!
Making their song. I was going to do Casey Kasem, making it all the way to the number one spot. Here's 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins. Casey's Top 40.
Mm.
That tattoo looks so fake, but it's funny. Born to
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Going back to the whole thing, you ever stumble upon YouTube channels and they got some pretty good points, and then they're fuck it, I would never watch Brokeback Mountain. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? I can't listen to you now because you're weird.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Like
they're
freaking
they're
out about like anything that has to do, I call it fear of the woke,
Mhm.
which I don't
They're
mind people complaining. Like I like some people who complain about some of it, but some people are like everything's woke agenda, woke agenda. I'm like, why
Mhm.
can't you just say the show or the movie is bad because it sucks? What? Why on top of the writing being bad, which people will point out legitimately about a crappy. I won't say which. Just plenty of examples, but
There's plenty of them. We don't need to say which right now.
it's the writing's bad. That's because the woke agenda.
No, the
But
writing is
why
good.
does the woke agenda have to be inserted into everything that sucks?
Yeah.
Sometimes
The-
things just suck. I
yes.
grant you, I'm sure there are people who are like, let's put messaging in our thing and messaging. Let's
But
try
the
to teach people a lesson. Let's try to tell people how to think. I get that exists here and there, but I think it's way people are way too paranoid about like being
right.
afraid of progression or like being too woke.
Mhm.
Like I have a lot of uh, problems with for example, if if somebody thinks you're an ist or a phobe because I always go back to this is a great example because you didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. Now, let's say you say that I don't like Ghostbusters, and somebody says, "Well, you just well, obviously because it's all women reboot, and you're one of those guys who fucking hates women." And it's like
No.
instead of accusing somebody, why don't you ask them why?
Mhm.
And I say because the writing and the
It was
fucking
awful.
story and the direction
It was
sucked
awful.
ass,
Yeah, it was
right?
awful.
And then somebody could. I'm not saying this has happened. I'm just using. It's a very hyperbolic example.
Right, right.
Someone like a what if like type of situation. Somebody says, "Well, you must not like Leslie Jones. You must be one of those people who trolls Leslie Jones or hates Melissa McCarthy." He was like, "Actually, you know what? I think Melissa McCarthy's movies suck, and she's never funny in them. But she's the best goddamn host of SNL I've ever seen. So I
Mm.
think she's hilarious in that extent.
Yeah,
Love Leslie Jones. Love Kate McKinnon. Like Kristen Wiig. Come at me. What else you got? What
right.
else you got? I actually like the people in the movie, and it only adds to the disappointment that they
No,
were in
no.
such a crappy movie.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, I love the original Ghostbusters, right? And when I saw the trailer for the um Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters film with the Melissa McCarthy, I actually liked the trailer, but the second I saw the movie, I was like, "Fuck!" I just don't like Melissa McCarthy as an actress, and that's coming from somebody who has watched her since Gilmore Girls. Come on.
Oh, I've never seen that. Yeah, like Leslie Jones, I fucking love. And I used to hate the way people go at her during that whole. Like that's the thing. You do see the evidence of the trolling and the just like the ignorant fucking comments, and what that becomes is everybody's like that. There's so many
Right.
people who are like that. Everybody who's got a negative thought about it
Right.
is in the same. People always get like me and Ruben and Braxton, right? We're talking about Strange New Worlds one time in a live stream. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we mentioned that Rebecca Romaine rips open her shirt and it's like a sexual. It's kind of sexual. I think that's what I said.
Mhm.
And this person in the chat, I won't say who it was. They did apologize after.
Mm.
It was like you
No,
guys
but
are misogynist and you guys are sexist. I'm like,
yeah,
and
yeah, I remember.
Ruben fucking lost it. He's like, "What are you talking? Show me the receipts. Give me specific examples of why you were accusing me of this thing."
Yeah,
And they
yeah, I
could not come
remember.
up with the one.
Yeah, I remember this one time when I got accused of misogyny on Starfleet Boy stream, and Starfleet Boy basically ripped this individual a new one.
That's the thing. If you, uh, it is so bad now that, like for one thing, in North America, the word cunt, cunt, is so insidious, so bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Over in
I
Europe,
yeah.
it's like, "Hey, what are you doing, you cunt?" It's like a term of endearment almost in some ways, and you call
Mhm.
both men and women cunts over there, right?
Yeah.
You
No,
do it
it's the
here.
same.
We do it in Canada sometimes, but it's people
No,
like,
it's
"Oh, that's a
yeah,
female
it's
thing." I was
just
like, actually,
yeah, it's the same thing in Australia, because in Australia that word is very, very a part of the lexicon, right? But
it's still a bad word. It's just
yeah, it
not
is.
as offensive.
Right.
And the same thing with if sometimes if there's uh, uh, a bad character in a show who happens to be female,
Mhm.
it's like nowadays you have to be very careful not to call that character because they are female a bitch. You can call her a jerk, and it's like almost more acceptable to call a man a bitch. But like bitch is yeah, it's like
Mhm.
I can
No.
understand. Like I said the word bitch one time in front of a girl who I didn't really know that well,
Mhm.
but she gave me a whole talking down to about how men should never use that word and the reasons why. And I was like, so what about if you call another man a bitch? She's like, it doesn't matter. That word is because it's
Right.
associated with comparing females to a dog.
Right.
And it's like, are we at that point now where nobody can hear, nobody can hear curse words without being offended, even if it's not directed toward them? You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. After the stream, I have
I don't want to be
I have
insensitive to that
yeah,
person, so I was like, I
no,
agreed with her, but in my head,
right.
I'm like, I'll still say it every now and again. I don't. Cursing is a part of.
Yeah,
If we're
cursing.
getting to that point in Demolition Man where you like if you say it like a little robot says, "Here's your fine." You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So what were you? So you? I did interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, I think after the stream, I have a little story that you might find interesting, based on what we're talking about right now.
Too hot for live stream. But
Yeah.
this is where we're at. I feel like not even middle of the road. I lean more, I guess, progressive, or like
Hmm.
I'm all for like, yeah, let's like change the world for the better and stop fucking the environment and accept people for who they are
Yeah. No, but I'm
and
just
love and not hate, which I
no,
try. I
but
mean, I never
I
succeed 100%, but I try.
yeah. I'm just asking the world to use a little common sense in the way that they react to things, because common sense is far out the window at this point.
Comedians too, yeah, like comedians getting approached after their set, like you said this thing that was, it's like, why are people going to comedy shows who are like that? Who are,
Right.
um, I can't even remember what was said, but there's one comedy special. Um, Sam, his first name's Sam anyway. I'm gonna look it up after. But anyway, some comedian. I don't know what triggered somebody in the audience. Couldn't even remember, but somebody got up and audibly stomped up the stairs out of like the area,
Uh huh.
and enough so that like the comedian like commented on it.
Right.
No, it was about it was he was making fun of something about Catholic priests or something. You can see where that might have gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody
Yeah.
was
Not
like,
good with priests.
I'm Catholic, I'm not having it type. I was like, don't go to comedy shows. Like I told you before about Gilbert Godfrey, funniest guy in the fucking world. Laughed my ass off. There was some material in his set that people were like, come on now, this is not so funny. We get it. Like the audience was mature enough to know that, like, yeah, it's nobody's like, "F you for making that kind of joke," but people vote it with their laughter. That's how you do it, folks. You vote with how much you pay attention to it.
I really like that. I really like that. People voted with their laughter. I like that.
And instead of going to YouTube channels and then saying, these people are, ignore them.
Yeah.
Let them have their, if like, there's some YouTubers I stumble upon because they're talking about a certain thing. And I'm like, I'll give you 30 seconds. And I'm like, I don't give them 10 seconds because it's like, I don't like you, but I'm not going to leave a comment on their channel saying, fuck you, you piece of shit.
No, you
Because
just
my job is to just ignore it. I don't
yeah.
need to be an activist against them because all that's going to do is embolden their followers to fucking hate me
And you know
and come
what?
at me.
Yeah, and you know what? That's gonna and that's gonna annoy the fuck out of you.
Yeah. It's like when you reach a certain level of maturity in your life, you should
Right.
know what to pick and choose. And if you stumble across something that is not for you, the world doesn't care that you were offended by it.
Right.
Much like I'm sure the world doesn't care that I was offended by Picard season 1 and 2.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I wasn't as visibly put on fire about Picard season 2, but Picard season 1 and 2 are fuck it.
Abominations.
It's my that those films, those 2 seasons are a fucking disaster.
An absolute waste of everyone's time.
A disaster. Well, yeah, disaster.
And here we come to the jail scene in the movie. Oh yeah,
Here we
Clerks 2 is happening. I forgot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to make a. I'm gonna have to say a big disclaimer at the end of the. I'm sorry, people, but we got a little crazy.
No, it's relevant to this stuff because
Yeah.
Kevin Smith, he doesn't, like I said before, he
Yeah.
doesn't use the sexual language as much. He still does, and
Yeah.
people like they don't care. Where I've seen people accuse Kevin Smith of, well, he's part of the woke mob now. He doesn't. I don't know what he doesn't do anymore. He's just mature, more mature and different. And if
Right.
you don't like his newer stuff,
Don't watch it.
it's fine. It's okay.
No, the other thing that you don't have to do is you don't have to really you don't if you don't like something that somebody else likes, please don't destroy their joy. Just move on with your life.
That's the main thing I'm probably trying to say is like
Yeah.
you can bitch and love all you want, but when you're
Eh,
I know a friend, I won't say who it is, who's inadvertently I think hurt my feelings because I find them I really won't say who it is. I find them to be a bit of a film snob or somebody who tries to judge art as subjectively as possible. So if like you say you like something that isn't critically liked, they're like, why you like that? And it's like I begin to feel like this person doesn't have a mind of their own when it comes to stuff because it's all viewed in a very clinical kind of way. By the way,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I was accused of that same thing by my friends. Were like, would judge movies too much and be like, "You're such a snob like that." I'm like, "Oh, I should probably."
Yeah,
And I
no,
did
I think
realize some of those points, but not all of them. I still
no,
thought certain things sucked regardless.
no,
But
but
yeah,
you know what? But you know what? As an individual who looks at film, as an individual who looks at movies with a film with a filmmaker's brain most time and with the brain of a writer, I can do that, but I also can watch film and TV just like a fan.
yeah.
So
And that's why, like, people with ratings and stuff, like, I'll give this episode of a TV show an 8.5. It's like, but what is an 8.5 if it's a movie? Is that like Academy Award? Like, what is, like, it
yeah,
never
yeah,
seems
but
right. That's why I stopped liking doing that. Like, rating, like, uh, one season was this many points and another season was that many points.
but you know what? I mean, look, I
Yeah,
think
it's
what
fun, I
PG,
guess, but yeah.
yeah, I think what PG and I are trying to say is that all film is subjective, right? Film hits people differently, I guess.
And not only that, your viewing experience, and people will deny this, but I maintain that your viewing experience is also affected by the environment, even what happened that day or that week, like the surrounding day, like whether your
Mhm.
stomach is full or not, whether you feel 100 or 100% well, or like maybe 70% or 60%. Like there's so
Right.
many factors that go into a
Your
viewing
viewing
experience,
experience.
which is why I think, you see movies where they come out of the premiere, best movie ever. It's the when they lift the social media embargo. Almost
Yeah.
every movie is, you can never rely on them
No, of course
because
not.
every one of these people just got like invited to the fucking premiere with all of the stars of the movie
Right.
that people want to call them shills. I'm saying, like, take away the shill element of like people are being positive because of money.
Hmm.
Sure, maybe some people, I don't know. I
Right.
don't think movie people are paying to critics like actual cash for positive reviews. That just doesn't seem to make any sense. I think most studios want to rely on like what actual people think of the movie, because
Right,
word
right,
of
right.
mouth is the biggest seller when
Mhm,
after your first week or whatever.
mhm.
So what you need to do is just uh, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. There's still a bunch of time left in the movie. You can get it back.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The people who go to the premieres, it's like it's already a huge, for most people, a hugely positive experience. On
Mhm.
top of the fact that you're the first ones to see this movie with the people who made the movie, you
Right.
probably get like free whatever. I don't know what you get, gift bags or I don't know, some shampoo or something. I don't
Gifts.
know. So some $500 shampoo. I have no idea. I have no idea what they get. But anyway, my point is they come out of it generally in a more positive mood than they would have if they'd gone to the local theater. You
And
know what I
watch the
mean? Like,
movie.
so that mood and circumstance and environment does affect viewing experience.
Mhm.
Sometimes you will watch a movie, not like it, and then you are in a different state of mind, or you're more
Put
relaxed, or you're more perceptive, or whatever. And the second time around, you're like, "Oh wow, this is actually pretty fucking brilliant." I hated
right.
The Godfather the first time I saw it. I thought it was some boring, drab shit. I saw it in a theater, in like a school theater where it was set up on like a projector and all this stuff,
Oh wow.
and metal seats, very uncomfortable. Me and my girlfriend were like high as fuck, and it was like we just weren't interested, and we were hungry. We really wanted to get something to eat,
It's because you were high.
and we left like I don't know, fucking like an hour and a half into it. But when I watched the movie full on,
Uh-huh.
I was
No,
like,
I
"Holy
remember
shit, this is a good
yeah.
movie."
No, I remember the first time that I watched The Godfather with my cousin. I really liked it, but it really took me a couple more watches to really get it and really, really appreciate the film.
Yeah, it's not that fast paced kind of deal you got now. Like gangster stuff is more
But the other
visceral.
thing that you have to realize about The Godfather is that The Godfather influenced an entire generation of the films that we like, gangster films, right? So much, so much, so much stuff and so many scenarios that were introduced in The Godfather, are overused in other gangster movies that we live and we watch today.
Hmm. It's influenced a lot.
Yeah.
What's your time step?
uh, I'm still in prison. Yeah. Don't worry, the movie's almost over anyway.
They're gonna buy the quick stop.
Yeah, they're gonna buy the quick stop. Oh god. This is the most entertaining and weird live stream I've ever done on my channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's been interesting. But when we do this next time, we gotta do a better job again.
Were we too woke or were we too asleep? I
No,
don't
I
get it.
think I think that we were neither. I just think that we
Sleep paralysis is the happy medium.
sleep paralysis. Yeah.
Oh, sappy Alanis Morissette song. I know you said you don't believe in romantic love, Becca.
Pekla.
I
I
mean, you
actually
already taught me how to dance at a wedding.
yeah,
I mean,
I actually really like this song.
The song,
But
yeah, the
but
song fits perfect.
yeah, but here's the thing. I'm a romantic sap.
It's so sappy. She's a great she's a great she has a
Yep.
great face.
Hmm.
I think I've seen this movie so many times it has like very little impact on me anymore.
No, I mean for me, I probably seen this movie less than maybe like
I mean, I love this when I
15
first saw it.
times.
Like
Yeah.
when it first came out in video, like the first day I got it, I like showed it to people. I'm like, "This is brilliant, isn't it?" And they're like, "It's okay."
It's okay. Yeah. But doesn't that suck when you show a family member or a girlfriend or a boyfriend something that you love and they go, it's okay. And you're like, oh man.
Better yet, have you ever known somebody who will automatically like what you don't and like what you don't like? It's like
Oh,
they want to be just
that's
so
what.
contrary to you all the time. I
Uh-huh.
just I dated a girl back in the day. It was 10 years ago. Uh, I showed her. She's like, I want to see a scary movie. I showed her Exorcist 3, and I get it. Like it's a very slow. It's almost a PG movie. She's like,
Mhm.
this is the dumbest movie I've ever seen. I was like, all right, all right. Didn't really take offense to it. People are allowed to. And she wanted to watch. Uh, God, what's
What?
the Arrow movie? Jennifer
Uh,
Lawrence Arrows.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, the first one. And I had seen it. And I'm like, I fucking hated that movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, let's watch it. I love it. And I'm like, that's weird. But I like the second Hunger Games though.
Okay. I actually went to go see all the Hunger Games in the theater with my friend. They were okay. Mm. But when you think about the history of the Clerks, it's really sad that these two guys, like, yeah,
You could argue that the sentimentality of is easier to go for in the
hmm
comedy.
no comedy is really really difficult to do. Yeah.
It's like this new Weird Al movie. A lot of people think it's hilarious. I'm like, it's amusing.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm just have no soul.
No, I have no soul because I don't like comedy at all. It's very hard to make me laugh.
If you want to find a movie that I actually like fucking laugh at, Dumb and
What is it?
Dumber or Dirty
Yeah,
Work with Norm
yeah,
Macdonald and Artie Lang.
yeah. Dumb and Dumber is great. I mean, Dumb and Dumber as a kid, I had that thing on repeat, but as an older individual, it's very very hard to make me laugh.
One of the funniest things in Dumb and Dumber is the snowball fight
Hmm.
when he takes it really serious and he starts like pummeling her in the snow, and
Right, right, right.
he's like he gets really angry. It's fucking so funny.
Hmm. Hmm.
Put me
Oh.
out of my misery.
Yeah. Whew. I think this was one of the most intriguing film watch-alongs I've ever had.
Yep. People are
Yeah,
confused now. Are we woke?
yeah.
Are we not woke? What's going on?
I would get canceled. No,
No,
actually,
okay.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't give a shit. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really promote my streams anyway, so
I can't. I can't get with today's kids and all their sides. Everybody's on a side. It's like
yeah.
We're the
I don't
blue
know.
team. We're the red team. Fight.
With the blue team.
We must believe in this. We must. This side must believe in this particular set of things and not question anything, and the other side also has to believe in another set of things and not question anything.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's a good place to end it, guys. If you made it through this movie, I would just say
Congratulations.
congratulations. Sorry for the false advertising. And I don't know when exactly we're gonna do Clerks 3, but when we do Clerks 3, you can bet your pretty little face that we're actually gonna talk about the fucking movie. So
I know you have a lot to say.
yes, I do. So before we go, PJ, if the good folks want to find you on the interwebs, what would be the best place for them to do that?
Boatrek on YouTube. BOATREK.
All right, PJ. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys. So that does it for another wacky a wacky edition of of Balloon Head Live. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, as always, I'll see you when I see you.
So much happened here, and so much is about to.